Recently, We Talk Sox went through a rebrand last year. What did that look like?
Yeah, so I don't want to get into too much details, but we had a couple reasons why we went through the rebranding. Mainly because, as you know, Sox Network, it was basically, it was like a news. We wanted to do that rebrand because we wanted to be more than just a news outlet, right? Like, I went out on the street and I was talking to fans. I talked to players. I've talked to all these people, and that was one of the bigger reasons why we went from Sox Network to now We Talk Sox, because now we talk Sox. Like, we talk all
the
Sox.
Community, all of Boston.
Yeah, it's not just posting graphics. Like, I love our content guys and our graphic guys. I love Sean and Owen and all them, but we rebranded to kind of branch off to more than just a news outlet.
What challenges did you guys face?
Yeah, so I will start out by saying the biggest challenge was definitely the followers. A lot of them strictly were kind of just coming to us asking why. Like, Sox Network was so successful. Why are we rebranding? What does this ensue? And then obviously, when any brand does a rebranding, you're gonna have people that love it and you're gonna have people that don't love it. So we, at one point we even put out a poll and it was like, do you guys like this rebrand? Like, do you like the new content? Do you like the new? And I think one of the hardest parts was it was more yes than no, but it wasn't like a landslide where everyone's like, oh, we love this, So I think to me, and I know to a lot of those guys over there, it was more of like just challenging getting everybody on board with the rebranding and just us kind of reiterating that this is still the same crew. It's still us. We're just branching out, and we just want to get you guys the best content. Nobody's changing. We're not, no one's getting kicked off. Like, it's the same people. We just want to, make sure that everyone was on board with our new content. I'd say that was the biggest struggle.
Yeah, just those growing pains in general.
Yeah, I mean, any brand that rebrands, I mean, we were super successful at Sox Network, and then, the rebrand, it's like, how can we get everybody back on board with what we had already established in the, in the baseball industry? So that was probably the hardest part.
What was more of a, wow, I made it moment? Was it being noticed in person or having these collabs with, you have the Hall of Good, you have John Boy, Talking Baseball, really respected people and pages in the baseball community? What was a bigger of like, wow, I really made it?
Yeah, so to me, not to sound like, cliche, but I still, I still have a lot of growing, and I know this page still has a lot we want to do and grow in that way. So I never really had the, like, I made it moment. Like, I actually have this one story that really sticks with me. I was at a game in July, and this girl who was, I kid you not, probably 12, 13 years old, she came up to me and she goes, "Oh my God, are you the guy from We Talk Sox?" Like, and her face just bright smile, like super excited to see me. And to me, that's what it was all about. That's what this has been all about, right? Like, being recognized is cool, and these collabs are great, but to me it was all about being able to connect, right? Like, connect with Red Sox fans.
So as a person who now has been part of the Red Sox community and providing for them, and you've even interviewed people like Roman Anthony, and you've met Christian Casas, great people, great clubhouse in general, but when you now watch baseball, especially the Red Sox, has it changed how you view the sport?
I wouldn't say it changes how I view the sport. I would say, when I see, well, obviously Casas is injured, but when I see Roman Anthony out there playing, I was his last interview before or probably one of his last interviews before he got called up to the big leagues. So to me, when I see Roman out there, and I've been, I've gone into games early, and I've been down by batting practice and try to get their attention and stuff. But just seeing him out there, it's like, wow, like,
that's my boy.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this guy, I talked to this guy, and he was just a normal guy. He gave me answers like we were basically just like friends, like hanging out, shooting the shit. So To answer your question, it's like, no, I don't really view baseball any differently.
You view the athletes differently?
I have a understanding now for kind of their off the field life. Yeah, I definitely see them in the light that, you know, any other fan probably doesn't view them as, just because I hung out with them for, you know, probably a couple hours, and, you know, I saw what they did in the clubhouse, and I just saw what their personal life was like. And so now I think when I see them on the field, I definitely have a better appreciation for the work they put in, and just their work ethic in general.
The thing about Boston is we're known to have a very passionate fan base. Some people on the outside would consider us maybe a little bit toxic, but as a page that provides to the community of Boston, especially the sports aspect, is there anything that you have to be aware of, knowing how passionate that Sox fans or just Boston fans in general can be?
I mean, it's hard, you know, like I said, especially when we talked about the rebranding, like, you know, people are gonna love you, people are gonna hate you, right? Like, we as a page and as a community kind of found, you know, what our niche was and what our people loved. So we went at it, and of course we're gonna have people who are like, oh, like, this graphic looks shitty, or, oh, you know, we'll put out the highlights and I'll make a spelling error, and I'm like, oh, whoops. And they basically just like shun me like I just did the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, I literally spelled Christian wrong on accident. Blowing up my comments.
Acting like you murdered him.
Yeah, they're blowing up my comment section, like, but, you know, I love the community we've built with this page. Like you said, they're the most passionate, fans, I would say, in all of sports.
A lot of people create sports fan pages, and you have a range of difference between like edits, you'll have highlights, graphics, shit posting, schizo ramblings. The whole spectrum is there. But not everyone is very successful because it's the market is totally flooded with it. And you know, we're told like, oh, don't give up, get 1% better 100% of the time, every day. But a lot of people still follow that, and they still don't get the amount of success that they feel like should be acknowledged by themselves and by other people. What have you done to separate yourself from the competition? And most importantly, how much does luck play into it?
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit earlier. I would say it's a little bit of both, right? So obviously you have your luck. Like, I have my interviews that I'll shoot out and I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll get a few hundred likes, like hopefully it reaches some people. And then next thing I know, it's at 150,000 views, and I'm like, oh, I literally, yeah, like this took me 5 minutes to edit. And then, you know, I'll have this video of a compilation of fans that I thought was really funny, and that I laughed, and it took me, you know, an hour, 2 hours to edit, and then add all these effects and add all this stuff. And the next thing you know, it's got like 1,000 views, and I'm like, I literally just worked like 2 hours for that. So, you know, the algorithm on Instagram, on all these social media apps, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever you want to call it, you know, if someone tells you they're an expert at the algorithm, they're just wrong. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't be an expert at getting the algorithm. What you can do is you can be consistent. And I think that's what this page has done. And, you know, we shoot out probably what, like 5-6 posts a day. I mean, it's tough right now because it's the off season, yeah. But when the season's in the full swing of things, right, we're posting 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day, whether it's the highlights, whether it's the post-game recap, whether it's a graphic, just like, oh, rumor has it, right? Like, just sparking discussion with your fans, right? That's what we've found success with. So you just find success and you go for it. And we found what worked for us, and really what it was is a little bit of luck and a lot of bit of consistency.
Yeah, you guys been around since 2018, a lot of consistency.
Like I told you, I haven't been here, I wasn't there for that long. I joined in the last year or so, but I know even before my time, like, it was, you know, some luck, and then a lot of consistency and a lot of hard work by everyone on that page. And that's what I think we've found success, and that's what we're going to stick with for the 2026 season.
From what you've told me, you started not even 2 years ago, 2024. You wanted to go interview people when the Celtics were on their championship run, and you were telling me it was just you, your friend, your phone, and a shitty Walmart mic. It seems like you yourself have even had a championship run too at the moment. How did that turn into like, hey, let's give it a thought, just try an experiment, to now where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, when I tell you this, it's been a crazy couple years. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but you know, at the end of last year and at the end of this year, like, I do like a little thank you to all my followers and everyone who supported me, because quite literally this journey has changed my life. Like, I went from just a kid outside, like a fan, like hyper, like getting hyped with all the Celtics fans when they would win playoff games, to then I got interviewed by LFG. That's how this all started back in 2024. I got interviewed by them, and you know, they collabed with me. I saw how it looked, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I love this. Like, I could see myself doing this. And, you know, from there, I literally went to Walmart and I bought whatever microphone I could find, you know, the little plugins to your phone, and then, you know, you have like the plastic or whatever. So, you know, the next couple of weeks I went out and I was just like, you know, talking to random fans, like asking them like, oh, how do you see the Celtics doing the rest of the season? Just normal stuff. My buddy Zach, who I credit so much for my success, he, you know, he would be out there with my iPhone, and at the time that I had those microphones, I couldn't even have a case on my phone because it wouldn't plug in because of the phone case. So I quite literally had an iPhone caseless, him filming me, and then I had my little plastic microphones. Well, you know, all these creators out on the streets of Boston, you know, you have all those YouTubers, and you got
they got their bigger cameras, and
they all have like this big camera crew. Like, this guy has like a vest on, like locking his camera in place, and I'm just standing there with like my cheap $5 microphones and my camera on my iPhone. My brother and I launched our own media company, and we went from there. But yeah, like, it was just crazy. Like, I mean, I was on Celtics Talk Weekly. I did LFG Boston. I've been on, you know, tens of podcasts. I think a lot of people skew success, because success for me, it never like came from money, right? Like, as cliche as it sounds, it's like you just gotta work. You just gotta hustle, and you know, you'll make your connections, you'll find your way, and that's what we did. Like, we never let money be the reason of doing something. Like the Sox page. Like, I never once did it because I wanted money. I did it because I loved the sport, and I loved making content, and putting those both together, I could give back to, you know, the Sox fans that deserve it. And then here we are, right? Sitting down with an interview, getting asked about it.
I know, and like, it's not even been technically 2 years ago because the Celtics run and whatnot. So a lot can happen in 2 years, as we just heard and as we're seeing right now. You're on your generational run, one could say. So what would you say is the biggest difference between Randy of 2024 before the Celtics versus Randy of now 2026?
That's actually a really good question. I would say confidence. Confidence. You know, I was just turning 21 at the time. I'll be 23 in May. I don't want to say I lost touch to like happiness, but you know, when I was out there doing Celtics interviews, like, you know, I was just a junior in college, and in college, like, you know, they try to prepare you for the real world and all that stuff. And, you know, I was so focused on, you know, my tests and my classwork and my homework that I really felt like, you know, I didn't have much happiness. And by doing those interviews, I found something that I loved, and I found something that I was passionate for. Going from where I was to where I am now, the biggest thing that I've probably taken away is just be who you are, stay the course. If somebody offered me $2 million to go work a 9-to-5 right now, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it because, I wasn't happy before, and I'm so much happier now with what I'm doing.
How did it all feel? And I was like, all right, we're getting these collabs with John Boy, Hall of Good. Oh wow, Cage Titans is picking up a little bit. LFG Boston, all of that's coming in. What was it first like? Because it happened to you rather quickly, because it's not even been 2 years.
Yeah.
Was it a little bit overwhelming, or was it something you're like, all right, lock in, I'm prepared?
No, I mean, I don't think anything I could have done would have prepared me for what I'm doing right now, because I just remember to myself, like, nobody gave it to me. Like, I worked for this, right? Like, nobody looked at me and was like, oh, we're gonna give you this chance, hopefully you blossom into, no, like, I was out on the street with nothing. Like, I worked from nothing to where I am. So I think when the opportunities presented themselves, I was definitely ready. It was a little bit overwhelming. Just, the long nights, like editing till like 2, 3 a.m. and you know how it is.
I do.
It can be a lot. At the same time, right, like, I'm human, like, I have an outside life, like, being able to balance all this stuff that was going on. Like you said, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I had all this stuff just happening like this, and balancing that with, staying in contact with all my family, all my friends, not blocking everybody out. Unintentionally, of course, but just being able to balance all that stuff was definitely challenging in the beginning, but here we are, like 2 years in, and I would definitely say I've adjusted, and it's going well. So,
what is the community of We Talk Sox? What are they going to expect this year from you guys?
Prepare for the best Sox content. Consistency, lives, player interactions, fan engagement with you guys. I mean, last season we came out guns blazing. Expect the same this season, and just get excited for the season. Like, we're super pumped. It's gonna be a fun year. I'm actually working on, I told you I got media passes for Worcester. I really am trying to get some for the Sox. It's just really tough. I would say just prepare for another phenomenal season, and We Talk Sox is very, very excited to give you guys the content you deserve.